South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and 2016 GOP presidential candidate Senator Marco Rubio both go on the record with a major endorsement. Good evening to both of you.
Good evening, Greta.
Good evening, Greta.
Okay, Governor, first to you, although I think it's pretty obvious looking at the screen, you are endorsing in this South Carolina primary and the 2016 race. Do you care to share it with the class, as the nuns would say?
Of course. You know, I am so excited for South Carolina. I'm excited that Saturday we're all going to the polls and that we are going to weigh in on who's going to be our next president. And I did what so many families are going to do on Saturday, which was really weigh what it is I'm looking for in a president. And I have 2 children, so I want a country that I know will be safe. I'm the wife of a military combat veteran, and I know what military families go through and what they sacrifice. And I want to know that we're going to have a president that has their back. I take care of 2 parents, and I want to know their health care options are going to be taken care of. But more than anything, I want a president that's going to fight back on the last 8 years that we've had to deal with, and is also going to make sure they hold a conscience to every Republican to make sure they're doing what Republicans were meant to do, which is balance our budgets, reduce our debt, and grow our reserves. And I think Marco Rubio is the man to do that.
Senator, everyone is vying for this endorsement of the governor. As no secret, even Governor Bush said, talking about how important it was to him, and I'm sure he's disappointed tonight. How did you find out that Governor Haley was going to endorse you?
Well, we had a chance to speak over the last few days, but obviously I knew she took the situation very seriously. It's an important decision. You know, she has built up an reputation here in South Carolina and across the country. I mean, it's one of the things I said is we'd love her help beyond South Carolina. I think people all over the country admire her very much, and so we were excited when we got the word that this was a real possibility. And for us, and for me, and I've said this before, and I would say, despite the endorsement, I would say this, she represents everything I want the Republican Party to be about: fiscal responsibility, a limited federal government, all the things that our government should be about and all the things our party should be about, she embodies.
Governor, you have an incredible favorability rate in the state of South Carolina. I think it was 81% the last time I noticed, which was December. So, but most of the voters, Republican voters in South Carolina, according to the polls, they say they want Donald Trump, #1, and then they say their second choice is Senator Ted Cruz, and then right behind is your endorsed candidate, Senator Marco Rubio. Do you think you can persuade the South Carolinians, who obviously right now don't agree with you, to vote for Senator Rubio?
Well, let me tell you about South Carolinians. They are very independent, but they are very thoughtful. And all you have to do is go back and look at what we went through in 2015, and that tells you all you need to know about South Carolinians. What I want is for them to go to the polls on Saturday. And what you're going to see me do for the rest of the week is tell them why I think Marco Rubio is the person that we need as president. He's got the fight to really go to Washington and actually see action happen. He's got the passion that we love in South Carolina, that we want to have get done. And he's got the conviction. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. That's who South Carolinians care about. He's got the conviction to go there and do the right thing. And that's what I'm going to tell the South Carolina voters, and that's what I hope that they'll do when they go to the polls on Saturday.
Senator, I think it's pretty obvious that Governor Haley was not going to endorse Donald Trump after the State of the Union response. I think that's pretty obvious. Do you consider it a win, in recognition of where the numbers are, is if with this endorsement that you move up to second place, although in many polls you're within the margin of error, but is that a win for you this Saturday?
But you know, Greta, elections are ongoing processes. People perhaps were in some place on Monday, and by Friday they changed their minds. It's based on new information. And the bottom line is that we feel great about the momentum this adds to our campaign. I mean, she's a validator. I mean, this is someone that's very serious. Nikki Haley is a very serious governor about the issues confronting not just the state, but the country. And for someone like that to weigh in is going to have an impact on voters, not just in South Carolina, but around the country. But even more than that, I would say to you that this is so much about what our campaign is about. Her and I both share a common background in the sense that our parents weren't born in this country. They worked hard their whole lives to give their kids a better chance. That's what America's about. That's what conservatism is about. That's what we want the Republican Party to be about. And that's what this is going to give us a chance to make this election about.
Governor, did you make a phone call to Governor Jeb Bush? I know at least it was reported that President Bush 41 and 43 at least made an effort to persuade you to choose Jeb Bush. But did you have to make that awkward phone call? Because I know you've been friends with him for years.
I made a phone call out of respect and out of the fact that he's a dear friend. I also called Senator Cruz today and let them know that that I appreciate their willingness to serve and that I appreciate their sacrifice and that our country was blessed that they took the time to run for president. But I did tell them that I was going to endorse Marco and that I had thought very hard about it and appreciated their time and their conversations, and they were very graceful.
Governor, thank you. Senator, thank you. And as I say to all the candidates, good luck on Saturday. Thank you both very much.
Thanks so much, Greta.
Thanks, Greta.